What's up, guys? How are you doing today? I've been cold this whole day today. So if indoor cycling doesn't warm me up, nothing will. So today it is time for stage 3 of the Zwift Unlocked, the short route. And I would really want to see a person who is responsible for creating this route. Because to put climb like Skur Summit north, after 4 laps of crit course, that's evil. That's just pure evil. Involuntary training season. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this summer's heat will ever leave those walls here. I think it's like permanent inclusion, but yeah, because I imagine that like everyone is going to go super hard on the crit because that's what people do. And it is usually super hard anyway. But this time you basically wreck yourself on the crit and then you have that nice uphill finish. It's just like so I finally got the wolf kit. So I will be riding on doggy power. What kind of music am I listening to this time? I've got like a trailer music today, trailer music playlist, which is like Hans Zimmer, uh, Two Steps from Hell, and stuff like that. It's like pumping me up. Yeah, the reversed version is definitely harder because when you are doing the crit forward, basically the only difficult thing is the glide kicker, but it's like 10-second effort. But the reverse is much longer, much more intense. So yeah, definitely, I agree. There is going to be a lot of opportunities for power ups, though. Uh, I can imagine there's like 8 of them before we go to the climb. Is it 8? One on the start, one on top of Clyde Kicker times 4. Yeah, 8. So uh, in the first few laps, I'm going to use the power ups, but then if I got Feather, I will probably be keeping it for the Sgur Summit. Because the Skur Summit from this side is actually more difficult than from the other. First, it's longer, and second, it's steeper, and third, it's on gravel, so it's slower. Deadly combination. And I don't even know what they prepared for the long stage. I didn't dare to look yet. They are all ghosts and steamrollers? Are you kidding me? You gotta be joking, right? Let me check. Well, if that's the case, then whatever. I don't know how to find it. Okay. Okay. Well, the thing is, I wouldn't be surprised, right? Because they would probably argue something like, well, the ghosts are for secret long range attacks, and steamrollers are for the Skur Summit, and yeah. So I wasn't convinced. I need to figure out when I will do the long one, because this time I won't be able to do it on Friday because my wife has birthday on Friday and we are going to have all you can eat churrasco in Brazilian restaurant in Prague. So I will do it either on a Thursday or a Sunday. But if I did it on Sunday, I would probably do some other thing on Thursday. We will see. I'm not sure at this point. So I'm waiting, as usual, for the pen to be unlocked. And then I will continue with my usual warm-up. Today my wife will join me. Not racing, just riding with me. You mean the long stage? I think so, yeah. It's... Oh, I can probably check. It is called... It is... Let's see. London Calling. Oh, yeah. And it's 31k and it's probably like pancake flat, right? 211 meters. That's not... There's probably not a single ascent of Box Hill or Light Hill. So it's going to be basically chill and then sprint. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of people in the pen today. 288 right now. And obviously most of the people join last minute. On Saturday, I actually had to take day off, which is something I almost never do. But I wrecked myself so hard during the Friday's race that I was cramping during night, and I literally feared that if I was riding, I would injure myself. So I took a day off. On Sunday, I already rode for about 2 hours, but just easy. I've had significant volume increase like from May to August, but not lately. I'm not riding like significantly more than I was before I left for the holidays. It was like 10 hours the week before, 8 hours this week. But the race was really hard on Friday. I went pretty deep in those climbs, and then I basically went all out during the sprint. Oh, thank you. I'm talking and not watching. Yes, I will. I will definitely do the Czech one. I've already purchased the entrance. And like with 90% certainty, I'm going to do the actual Let Up the Tour, because I've heard there is going to be Alpe finish. And that's like once in like 5 years opportunity. And some rumors says that there should be 2 ascents of Alpe. It should be fun. What do you mean by you keep the position? I do not understand. Yes, you do. That's why am I doing this. Why am I waiting for it to open? Because if you log in immediately, then you keep your position at the front. Subscriber meetup on top of Alpe. That would be really fun, actually, and go for beers after that or something like that. The thing is, the Let Up official is always like 1 week before the actual stage of Tour de France takes place there. So I think on Alpe there is already going to be like a ton of fans, and I think even the Let Up atmosphere would be like crazy. It would be so good. I already rode Alpe, and even, it was pretty empty. I was doing it late at night, in late afternoon. So there weren't that many cyclists, but it was still incredible. But with all the fans, it would be like, I think the craziest thing that you can do as an amateur cyclist. The last time this happened, there were 2 ascents on Alpe. You didn't descend on Alpe. You ascended, and then you went basically on the back road through Croix de Fer, and then returned to climb again Alp. Obviously, that would be impossible to climb and descend at the same time. People would basically kill each other. I'm listening to a playlist of epic music like Hans Zimmer, Two Steps from Hell, and stuff like that. Hello, Terence. How are you? It would obviously depend on how the stage progresses. If they also edit climb on Galibier, that would be incredible. That's a really beautiful climb. It's really not about the individual races for me. I just want to progress, get as good as possible. And the races are fun, but they are also a great workout. So I take it as such. And for the time being, races for me are a way to get into advanced group, which is still like 40 points away. So for the time being, it's to get more points. Yeah, feel free to do so. I think it's actually great to have about 30% of trainer's difficulty. I would like to try Elite Race once. I will just put it out there. It may never happen, but who knows? 2 years ago, I was bottom D, so sky is the limit. Hey, Tomasz. Thank you very much. Awesome. Let me then know how you like the plate. I don't mean either Elite or in real life or Advanced on Zwift. I will do Advanced on Zwift eventually. And I don't think it is that far away actually. But definitely Elite in real life is out of my possibility. I'm way too old for that. But like Elite race, something like some, Zwift esports championship or something like that, the Elite race in one of those. Or maybe like on my whoosh, whatever it is, when I have form for that, if that happens ever. Thank you. But obviously it will depend on how my progression goes. I may as well stall in a few weeks, get sick, something like that. And I will be on the back burner again. There's quite a few races over in here. Even road races, big on the closed roads, but they are all pretty expensive. So the Let Up is the biggest one, but there is like Road Classics series. People say that cycling in Czechia is bad. I don't think that. It's pretty good, actually. No, I don't run anymore. Once in a while with my dog. But not in terms of training. I don't want to split focus. I simply, when I do some activity, I go all in that activity but I've had great times as a runner. I liked it a lot, but I got into a situation where to improve my marathon times, I would need to really ramp up the training, like in terms of volume. And I felt that I was already doing quite much. I hated those 3-hour long runs in the cold and dark. So, my dog, for sure. Eliud Kipchoge wouldn't beat my dog at 5K. 3:14, I believe. Marathon 3:14, half marathon 1:29, 10K 41, 9K, 5K 18. But I had quite a lot of troubles with injuries when I was running. Cycling is way more forgiving with this. I started running when I was like 28, 29. It was already quite late to start like high-end training. Just myself. I had a coach, one of the first coaches actually, who started training with Run Power. But I was running for myself. Yeah, you don't get much of a runner's high when cycling. In terms of game plan, I would obviously want to podium again. I think it will, whether or not I have chance for winning depends on what kind of riders are there. If there is going to be some light guy who manages to stay with the group until the climb, it's going to be super tough. But we will see. That's a good use of site workout terrains. It definitely opens up your systems. I don't think you can do like a proper breakaway here, especially when the group is so big. I think if you have good legs, you can try to break on the climb already. But here's the thing, even though I've done pretty well in the last few stages, it doesn't mean I will do again, because there can very well be like 50 better riders, since it is like based on racing score. Watching this from the shower. Do you have like TV in shower or? Yeah, I'm not saying it's like impossible, but it's like very hard, I think risky. I will try to get feeling for what kind of riders are here. Usually you can feel, you can gauge it by your feel. If there is someone who's consistently trying to break away, that's different than when the group tries to stay bunched. Right, Terence? I feel you. I feel you. Steve is not racing, I don't think. We usually coordinate if there's like Friday's race or weekend race. But he's in Chicago, so he's like at work right now. Yeah, I actually could have won that race. I attacked quite early and didn't really commit. It usually depends on how do I feel. You know, if I'm just drafting at 200 watts, I can probably talk quite easy. But I don't think that's going to be the case here. You just race with Steve now? Okay. Existing two questions. Yeah. Because he wants to see me suffer. That's why. So once again, this stream is sponsored by Turborox. It is, in my opinion, the best way to increase your comfort on an indoor bike. Both of us have one here. They are great. That's something that I would recommend to anyone. And if you want to learn more about them, go to turborox.com. And if you decide to purchase one, you can get 4% off with the code RoadtoA. My wife wants me to tell you she's very happy with hers. But it was just barely. It was like half a second. For the second week in a row, I would like to do the other category, but I wouldn't be able to make it in time for that today. And unfortunately, they are like switching the the schedule. So one week it is basically it's the other way around than the prior week. But that being said, I don't think it is necessary to week for me. Like there could be easily guys that wipe the floor with me. You never know. I still remember doing my first tiny races when I was racing at the top of the category I was at that point, and I got so destroyed. My 20-minute best is either 305 watts or 315 watts, but that was before I left for the holiday. I wouldn't be able to do it now. So that's my like inactive best. Let's see. So let's see 310 since I'm not sure, which is 4.36. But then again, it was very controlled environment. It was like, it was on a climb to a PKOM. So I could basically just go in my own tempo without any power variation. And the power variation is what really kills your effort. So that is not something I probably can do in a race like this when the power is up and down consistently. Well, a few months ago, it was definitely sprinting. Because I was a terrible climber. After I lost some weight, I got better at climbing. And I originally didn't think my sprinting got worse. But I think it did a little bit, actually. Even though I sprinted fairly well on Friday, it wasn't like nowhere near my top sprint. And then again, I've had 1 hour of riding behind me, but it's just this subtle feeling that it is not what it used to be. My favorite brands for shorts and jerseys, not this one. This is from Fiore. It's the Everesting set. And oh, let me help my wife to get on the bike. She's still not used to the rocking motion. This is okay. Yep, let me see the top one. Yep. No. So mostly I use like all jerseys and bips. Yeah. 350. Okay. Yeah. So it's that. This is a like. It's not like proper A. It's the proper A is advanced, but it is the top category of the pants that I can enter, basically. Now the rocker plate is actually very silent, like almost silent. All the motion happens on the construction. I heard good things about PSA Kit. And I've heard great things about ASOS Kit. But that thing is, again, stupidly expensive.
Right on.
We need to adjust the pressure in my rocker plate balls, actually. Not it's slightly tilted, but it's not time for that now. How can you convince your wife to Zwift? Oh, she has headphones already. Well, that depends. If it is like remotely something she would be interested in, right? If she likes outdoor cycling, you can probably pitch the idea by showing to her what's that all about. The gamification factor is quite appealing, I can imagine. And gifting her Zwift ride is probably going to apply a little bit of pressure, so. My wife uses AirPods 3 that we bought in the US. All right, guys. 52 people. We got some eager guys right from the beginning. It's the Wolfpack jersey for level 82. One of the most beautiful jerseys in the game, in my opinion. If you like dogs, that is. Okay, I'm warm now. 900 per second. Yeah, that feather was too late. That feather cost me the win, but never mind, still good. Yeah, my duck is big supporter and doctor in one. And I knew he blew up, but I simply didn't have more to like go out of the cell or anything. I was thinking that my only chance is to like go on frequent as hard as possible, hope for the best. Ooh, that was brutal, you guys. This is by far the hardest course of the 3 short ones so far. It's like super evil to do this kind of climb at the end of 4 crits. No, I'm absolutely happy with this result. When the climb started, I actually wasn't confident I would podium because all the guys seem so strong, and even on the last glide kicker reverse, they punched like over 10 watts per kilo. I was like, I'm in trouble. They are strong. You mean the one in Mercury? No. Because in Mercury you've got 2 climbs, but both of them are like fairly draftable, and they are fairly long, so you can go on frequent, and they are not big power spikes. Here you basically have 4 laps of consistent up and down in terms of power, and that drains you way more than the steady effort. What's more, the final climb in Mercury in stage 2 is like after 2 to 3 kilometers of flats, so you can rest. Here basically you do the last glide kicker, and then you have like 2 minutes of rest, maybe, quote unquote rest, and then you hammer. I think it is the last climb that's after what's preceding. I don't know if it's me or if it's like in general, but for me these high power variants is what is really difficult. I don't mind high intensity efforts if they are long and consistent. You know, I can easily do, easily is strong word, but I can do pretty high effort on RoadtoA or Zwift. But this is taxing. It creates so much lactate in your legs, and yeah. I didn't go silent by choice, really. It was simply, I guess it was by choice, but the intensity got so high after each glide kicker that I felt I needed simply to recover as well as possible before the next one. So thank you for bearing with me while I was silent. It is a really fun course, don't get me wrong. Like, I love this Gur Summit climb. It was actually one of the first climbs I've ever done on Zwift. And I originally planned to attack on the steepest part when it's like steady red on the chart. But the other guys made the tempo so hard that I felt that would be a good choice. I would probably blow up. I decided to go in the draft until what I perceived is not exactly sprint, but the final push. But that's the thing I said before the race. It is very easy to say, like, I'm in the wrong group, that I should be racing higher. But you've seen it yourself. There were like 15 guys who were hammering right from the start of the climb, and there was like 5-second difference between the first one and the 10th one. So anyone from those guys could have won if they did something a little bit better. Or I think at this point it was only about mental toughness. Basically, all the guys here were strong, and it was about who was willing to suffer longer, basically. Huh. Okay, Mikael, I'll be waiting for you. Thank you very much. I think there is a place for tactics as long as the course that is short is also really hard. Because if everyone is suffering by the halfway point, you can employ tactics. You can basically, if you feel that the group is suffering and you feel somewhat good, you can basically make an attack and be fairly successful in that. I wanted to do this today. I really wanted to attack. I was saving the power up for that, but it was too hard around me. So I think, so I've done the 3 short ones and 2 long ones. I would say from the long ones, the first one was definitely harder. From the short ones, this was the hardest by far for me. The first one was like super short and only had 1 climb, and the second one was 2 climbs, but as for which stage was the most fun, I would say the second long was more fun than the first one, and this was probably the most fun short one. I actually love those stages where it's super, super hard, because then I feel that the winner really deserves it. You know, if it's flat and it's bunch sprint, basically whoever is strongest wins. But in stages like this, you need to really want the win to win. Unless you are like really out of your category, but I don't think that was the case here, so good job to the guy. I mean, it was obviously, it helped my effort to modulate my effort, but when I remain silent, and I don't feel like I'm talking too much during the races anyway. Maybe during the longer ones, when you have periods of zone 2 riding, then I can say something from time to time, but in those short ones, I don't feel like I'm talking very much. but I really wanted to position myself the best for the attack, which ultimately didn't come anyway, but... Okay, I think it's time for a cooldown somewhere. Let me check my power duration curve. I actually went very near my best at 5 minutes. Oh, well, it wasn't that near, but... So what could we do? What could we do? What are the... What's the route of the week? Perfect. I think that's ideal. And I will do that on my TT bike, because I still need to level it. But let me know what are your thoughts about the 3 stages. I'm interested to see if you share that point of view or if you perceive the second one as harder. I think it also depends on what kind of phenotype are you. I think if you are like a pure sprinter, the second one might have been harder. And I will basically just spin out my legs because I don't want to get any more cramps during night. I don't know if it happened to you guys, but I find that every time you have cramps during night, your leg then hurts the entire day afterwards. I don't know what it is about those nighttime cramps, but they wreck your legs for a long time. Yeah, true. I'm having like, this is like pure carbs and electrolytes. And I take magnesium with my melatonin at night. Same for me. Yeah. I already raced, Dusty. Second stage harder? Okay. So let me check how much is in this drink. Let me check. So it is the carb and electrolyte mix from Precision Hydration, and one serving has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 250 milligrams of potassium, 48 milligrams of calcium, and 24 milligrams of magnesium. Oh, good job, Caleb. I think it was fun. Like, I liked it too, but I like this one more. And I'm so looking forward to next week, to the New York City. I don't know if you've seen the leaked footage on YouTube. But the Times Square looks dope. What I think is a big positive of my races lately is that I was pretty much always finishing at or very near my max heart rate. Which means that lately I'm able to push myself harder than I used to. And that's a big win for me because mental toughness was really the hardest part of the sport for me. It was a big issue for me when I was a runner. Not in races really. When there was like when they were like fans along the road, I always forced myself to push. But then when I was training, and especially since I was running with power, when I had to test my FTP, and it was like cold, rainy, and I needed to do like 20 minutes all out, that's where I failed terribly. And it happened several times that I gave up in the middle of the interval simply because I wasn't able to hurt. That's something that I improved actually lately. Oh, you were writing and it didn't scroll for me, so let me check up. Nicholas, that's the hard part. That's the hard part. I mean, the training is fine, but not drinking, that's hard. Terence, it is normal, or well, I don't know if it's normal, but it is known behavior. Basically, what you see right after the race is just initial estimation of the racing score change, and then it can recalculate with all the results when all the riders finish up to few hours after the race. So if you were like on the verge, it might have happened. But there are some ways lately in which the racing score behaves kind of weirdly. My guess is, as they announced some changes to racing score, I can imagine that they are pre-implementing it and it has some bugs, but that's obviously just my guess, I don't know. Yeah, there is nothing known about the next week's one yet, officially. Kryptonite I already raced at 7:10. I'm just cooling down right now. I take daily magnesium with my melatonin for better sleep. But on the bike only when I'm racing and doing really hard workouts. Next week's race, I'm not sure yet. It's going to be either Monday or Tuesday. One of those days. But it will depend on which of those days I will need to go to the office. I think it doesn't matter because today I was in the office as well. But also, when it is going to be the last time I will do the long one this week. Because if I do the long one on Sunday, I probably won't be able to race on Monday again. So that depends, but we'll see. I will schedule the live stream in advance, so you know. Terence, you don't need to be depressed when your racing score drops. I dropped over 100 during summer when I was racing with a proper ace. I finished in the silver spot. Second place. I sleep fairly well. I sometimes have trouble falling asleep because my sleep schedule is so all weird. Like, basically, I'm going to bed fairly late, and oftentimes I'm tired, so I almost fall asleep in my chair, like watching YouTube or stuff. And then when I go to sleep, I cannot fall asleep. I'm not doing all this, all those things really well. Not by a long shot. 69K Zwift race. Yeah, that's a long one. I've done 100-miler race once, and that was like, I was so wrecked after that one. Yeah, I do realize that. I do. Believe it or not, I'm doing actually way better than I used to. And like, I'm doing better now than how I did half a year ago. And half a year ago, I did a lot better than I did 20 years ago. When I was like 16, I was playing WoW all night up to 5 a.m. At 3 a.m. I had a dinner. I woke up at 1 p.m. because I was in high school, or a few years after that at the university, so I didn't need to work. Horde. I was actually fairly hardcore into raiding. So when the new content released, we were doing like raids each day from 6 p.m. to like 1 a.m. It was so horrible. I would die today if I had to do that. But back then I really liked it. Oh, my wife was also doing the route of the week. Just finished it. Pretty high power as well. Looks like she done some max effort at the end as well. Yeah, guys, it is not easy to work with the rocker plate when you have it for not long. And now our dog went to her, lick her, kiss her, the same way he does when I finish. He's caring for both of us. Thank you, Brandon. I don't really consider that a sprint. I regret that I didn't have somewhat more power to go for the guy. But it's getting better and better. So I'm happy. Okay, I need to speed up a little bit because otherwise I would be here for an hour doing this. Where are you located, Terence? Are you like Aussie or New Zealander? Or in Japan? Where are you from? Oh, Pennsylvania. Oh, US. Sure, sure, sure. Isn't it a little too late to start the workday? My cooldown protocol is usually to do something from the of the week series, so either the climb or the route or the workout. Oh, 3 to 11. Is it like are you like a server or in a hospital or something like that? Second shift, yeah, sure. Gotcha. Hospital. Oh, that's nice. Big kudos for that. I have a lot of respect for medical personnel. We actually liked Pennsylvania. We were there like 10 years ago in Philadelphia. Very nice city. Yeah, I can imagine that's. My go-to VO2 max workout is a race. And that's not a joke, by the way. Usually races have those high 4-minute, 5-minute efforts. And I think that's training your VO2 max really, really well. What I lack, or what I feel like I lack, is like super high intensity training, like 30 seconds. So I do lots of 40-20s in the off days. And I also do a lot of steady state to increase my FTP. But I think VO2 max is pretty much covered by my racing. I've heard that there is a new feature on YouTube where you can live stream with multiple people. So we were talking with Steve with Bike Triple B that we would do a shared stream. That could be a lot of fun. But we need to figure out how to do that technically because I have no clue. Just learned that. And I think the races are also the most fun way to train, right? Because I feel that when there is this competitive factor, you can always go a little bit deeper than when you're riding on your own. Arturo, I already raced, unfortunately, 1 hour ago. But you can rewind the stream and experience it like it was now. It's all recorded. Do you like the Garmin workouts? I never enjoyed it too much. one more. Wouldn't that be something though? I might do that actually, like sometimes, like do three in a row or something. Maybe some holiday special or something like that, or on my birthday or something like that. 3 races in a row. Yeah, tiny races are super good VO2 max workout, but it hurts like hell. It's like the most painful racing series I've ever tried. Good job. Enjoy. Perfect choice. I hope you use the discount code. Free 15% off. Zwift is a lot of fun. I think you're going to have a blast. I was actually surprised how much fun did I have when I started. Way back when I was one of those guys who, thought cycling is only about outdoors. But I'm actually having a lot of fun on Zwift. I do not race daily, no. I don't think that's possible or smart either. I mean, it's possible, but I want to, when I'm racing, I want to race. I don't want to do like one all out and one just like half-ass it. I don't like that approach. So each race I do, I try to do as well as possible. And I would say 3 times a week is about the maximum where there is possible to apply that. Probably 2 is better, but if there are 3 interesting ones, I just do 3. Well, first of all, Kai, that's a good timing because I heard there is supposed to be like Everesting some challenge during holidays. I don't know if it's going to be official or something, but good timing to do it for during Christmas. When I finished Everesting, I've said I would never do that again. It's been a year and a half, and at this point I'm like, maybe we will see. I would like to do some hard challenge on my birthday on stream and during holidays on stream, like 2 hard challenges in 1 month. Whether it is one of the longest routes, whether it is, I was also thinking the Rafa 500 kilometers in one ride, maybe. We will see. It will also depend on how many days of work I have. How do I pick my races? Usually I do Z-racing, unless there is more interesting event. So Zwift Unlock is in place of Z-racing, so that's basically the same thing. But usually when there is Tour de Zwift, I do Tour de Zwift. When there are Zwift games, I do Zwift games. Let's see. I like the Sisu organized Grand Tours. Basically, they're like 7-stage races that mirror Giro d'Italia, Tour de France, and Vuelta a España. So those series are super fun. I'm not a huge fan of super flat races because I think that's like a fairly easy ride until the finishing sprint. I like races where the winner needs to work for the win. Which, if you are doing Z-racing, that's really out of your control. But usually in Z-racing there is at least some climbing. And I also like super hard races, like the ones with multiple hard climbs, like twice the Epic KOM with radio tower, stuff like that. But there is usually only quite a few people in those races because obviously the harder and longer the race, the less are people willing to do that. So I think it would be actually really nice if Zwift introduced some sort of incentive for those hard and long races, like twice the drops or twice the experience point or anything like that. to really fill these gaps. I probably wouldn't be able to just train, to use platform for just training, unless I had some event to train for. But basically, training for training's sake, it's something that I wouldn't be able to do. So I'm happy to train a few times a week if it improves my performance in races. Like, so where does this finish? It's under the arch, right? I've done the London PRL full. I didn't do the Uber Pretzel. Actually, Uber Pretzel is one of the hottest contenders for my birthday ride. I would actually like to do it as a group ride to create it with my community here, with you guys. But I don't know if there would be interest to do crazy stuff like that, so we will see. It's like still 2 months until my birthday, so. Last year on my birthday, I did an FTP test as a gift to myself. So this time it's going to be some really hard rides. Awesome. So I will schedule it well in advance. Yeah, I think we can do Rubber Bandit 1. I don't think racing Uber Pretzel is something like... What is happening with the minimap? Each time I'm right, I basically try to zoom it out, and it zooms back down. Can I fix it in this position in some way? Ciao, ciao. Yeah, rocker plate actually helps a lot with long rides. I was actually super surprised about my wife's response to the rocker plate. I was fully expecting she would hate it from the start, because it is a really weird feeling when you use it for the first time. So I was expecting she would be like, I hate this, take it off, and she would need like multiple sessions to really feel the benefits. Nope. She had a first ride and she was like, well, that's great. It was way better than it used to be. So I was very pleasantly surprised. Yeah, I've had the massive arrow bug as well. I didn't know it for a long time either. I realized it after like 1 year of riding on Zwift. You basically just right click it and it zooms out, but then it randomly zooms back in, so I don't know how it works. It's probably bugged. Oh my god, this jersey is so dope. I love dogs and wolves and all canine, so I was really looking forward to this jersey, to this kit. So it was a nice cooldown, will be more experience points. I'm interested to see if I manage to do level 100 during the season. With how it goes lately, I think it should be possible. The 100 level kit is very nice as well. And it's actually achievement based. I would really, what I'm really missing from Zwift is more achievement based unlockables. Something like jersey for the Everesting or jersey for finishing the longest route and stuff like that. There are those for 100Ks and 100 miles, but that's basically it. And then there is the level 100. I would happily pursue these achievements. Even if it takes like stupidly long to unlock it, right? If it's like do every route on Zwift, something like that, that would be great. And have a nice jersey for that. Anyway, that was a really good cooldown. I feel my legs are very rested after this one. So once again, thanks to Turborox Rocker Plates for sponsoring this live stream. If you want to increase your comfort on an indoor bike, go for it, guys. It's the one that I use and couldn't be happier. I'm only regretting not getting it sooner. And I didn't get it from them. I actually bought it for my own money. So now I'm sponsored, but I'm not saying this because. So go to turborox.com. If you decided to get one, use the code RoadtoA. You will get 4% off, which is nice sum for product of this price. And thank you for being here. Looking forward to another stream, which is going to be either on Thursday or on the weekend, because on Friday my wife has birthday, so we are going out to eat. But either on Thursday or one of the weekend days, I will schedule the live stream well in advance. You can find it as usual in the live stream tab in my channel. I'm good at massage gun, actually. It is really good. It is really good. Thank you guys for being here and have a nice rest of the day. Ciao.